Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And we got our very special buddy Patrick Codo joining us for the first time this NASCAR season. Patrick, how you doing coming off of that high from that Chase Elliott Cup Series win, huh?
Oh, Ian, I am doing really great. I'll be honest, I did not see that coming, but, I'm excited. And obviously last year, 2020 was an interesting year. Nobody expected Chase to win, so why not pull it off in 2020? I'm pumped up. He's off to a slow start now, but it's early, so he'll get there.
Yeah, man, and we've been talking about it every week. This has been the weirdest NASCAR season ever. We got 7 races, 7 different winners.
Yep.
What do you take from all that, man? That's wild. We haven't seen stuff like that in years.
I mean, it's awesome to witness that. I mean, Michael McDowell, that in the Daytona 500, he picked up his first win. Christopher Bell getting a win. Ryan Blaney finally getting an early win. Mike Gamble, I know you're happy about that.
You know it, buddy.
Who would have thought Joey Logano would decide to get his dirty car on?
Yeah, who would have thought that, the
Kyle
Dirt Race-
Larson back in victory lane?
Yeah, exactly. It's the wackiest season ever, and
It's perfect, though. It's perfect. I mean, that commercial that we saw at the beginning of the year fired us up. I mean, we have Clint Boyer in the broadcasting booth. I love it.
Yeah, that's a universal win all the way around for NASCAR. No doubt about it. Love having Clint in the booth so far.
Clint and Jeff, like two best friends going at it, this time in the broadcasting booth.
and dude, I've been loving all the promos that they've been doing with Clint and Jeff, when they were going around the Daytona road course with the rental cars, wrecking each other.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, it's just so cool with what they've been doing. I feel like Fox is it's been kind of like a rebirth for them.
Yeah, it's been great. The
honest with
coverage
you,
so
Ian.
far this year has been awesome. Really happy to see what they've done so far with those broadcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Ian, I will be honest with you. Once we go into NBC, I may cry a little bit with Fox leaving because Fox so far is doing a fantastic job with all these promos and stuff. When adding Jeff and Clint's, it's awesome, man. I'm loving it.
Hey, that's all right. We got Junior in the NBC booth.
Yeah, NBC is still the best coverage.
Yeah,
to
no,
me.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So, Patrick, you know how we start off the show every week. We start off with our Diecast of the week. What'd you bring in for us today, buddy?
All right, boys. Well, so this guy we just came off of Bristol. We're going to Martinsville. This guy has won some races at Bristol and Martinsville. And on April 7th, will be National Beer Day, so why not show off Brad Keselowski's patriotic Miller Lite diecast that he won at the Coke 600 last year.
Ooh, very nice, man.
Love it, dude.
That it will always be one of my favorite paint schemes in NASCAR history, with the American flag coming down the side of that. Just classic, and I'm just so mad that we will never see that paint scheme ever run again.
Instead, we're seeing a Keystone Light one now.
Yeah, and basically the knockoff Busch beer car.
Basically.
Pretty much.
All right, Mikey, what'd you bring for your Diecast of the week?
All right, boys. I knew we were having our special buddy, Mr. Patrick Codo, on the show. And I know Codo is a Chase Elliott fan through and through. So I had to play a Chase. I even wore the championship shirt for you today, buddy. So I had to play a Chase car.
You got the hat on.
Oh, yeah. You went with the hat. I went with the shirt. We did a little compromise there. And for the honor of baseball, I'm rocking the Cubbies today. So, but like I said, with Patrick being on the show, guys, and with the news of his Darlington throwback car, which I'm sure we'll cover a little later, I decided to go with the Chase Elliott Hooters number 9.
Ooh, very nice, man.
Yeah, these cars.
I love that
come out
car.
So clean, so dope.
Absolutely.
I still need to get myself a Hooters car.
You do, dudes. In my opinion, some of his best looking race cars.
And hey, if there's one to get, you got to get that throwback one to Alan Kowicki. That one looks badass.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
I saw looks at that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I might just wait and see in case he wins. Then they'll do a raced version. But
Exactly. Hey,
we're
going to Darlington. Just got to look out for Kyle Busch.
well, there's that.
Well, not only that, I mean,
Little one
Chase, he
finger
had
salute action too.
Yep.
he had 2 chances last year to win at Darlington, and then he wrecked. So this year could be third time's the charm.
Hey,
Could be
we'll
the
see,
year,
man.
buddy.
We shall see. All right,
Yes,
guys. So
sir.
for my diecast of the week, Mike was just talking about it with the Cubbies. Opening day was just the other day, and I got to bring out one of my favorite diecasts that I have. It is the Chicago Cubs NASCAR diecast that I got signed from Kurt Busch when I met him in
What?
Wrigleyville.
Appropriate.
Oh yeah. So I found this on eBay for like maybe $70 like 5 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, that's a steal. So yeah, I had to get
Yes.
that. Yeah, just in honor for opening day just a few days ago.
Love it.
Nice.
I
Very
didn't
nice,
know that.
dude.
I didn't know they make any of those. Is there any other diecasts that have baseball stuff on them?
They're rare, man. You got to look on eBay.
I will.
I mean, I think they made cars for every MLB team, so you might be able to find a White Sox one. But again, these were made like almost 10 years ago, so it's going to be hard to find them, man. All right, everybody. So let's get into our Bristol Dirt review. We know that it was over a week ago, but we're just going to go over it real quick. In the Truck Series, we had Martin Truex Jr. getting his first ever Truck Series win at Bristol on dirt, which, he is not a big dirt racer, and he was able to pull that off. He looked like an ace on the trucks, guys.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one
he
I
did.
didn't see coming. There were a lot of Cup guys who were coming down to this race to get some experience and what the track was going to be like. I did not see Martin Truex going out there and just being an absolute ringer with the names that were in that race. There are probably about 15 people I'd pick before Martin Truex to be the guy that dominates the race.
Well, you guys got to remember too. I mean, let's not forget last year he did win on a short track at Martinsville during the middle of the season. So, of course,
Yeah, but it's just crazy. This is his first truck race in such a long time, and it's on dirt, which is something that he has never really raced on before, maybe like a couple times in the past few weeks. But this guy being put in the truck for the first time in a few years and doing that and just completely dominating, the guy is unbelievable.
Well, you also have a excuse me. Well, you also have a veteran in the Truck Series. When some of the guys are in trucks, they're just getting started. So for someone like Martin Truex, yes, you mentioned it was on dirt, but you figured that all right, I'm in the Truck Series. Let's make this baby count. So why not give it a shot on dirt? And he did.
Yeah, well, other veterans like Kevin Harvick, Kyle Larson, even who we all know is an ace on the dirt, they didn't really show their true talents throughout that race. They were having lots of trouble in the dirt. So, yeah, old Martin Truex Jr. is just, something that we did not see coming was this guy just completely dominating this race.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that's going to be another one of those things where, the size of the field versus the size of the track, you really had lappers and things like that coming into play quite a bit in this race too. So even better for Truex to, navigate that as well as he did on top of all that. So yeah, really impressive performance.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it.
All right, guys. So now let's get into the Cup race. It was the first Cup Series race on dirt in over 50 years, and we all thought that it was going to be the Dirt Ringers that were going to get this done, but Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell both having problems throughout the entire race.
Yes.
Both having their days end early, could not compete for the win, which, we were looking at these guys to get that win. And then a guy, again, who has no dirt experience whatsoever, Joey Logano, getting the win.
Out of all drivers.
Yeah. Out of all drivers, Joey Logano gets the win at Bristol. But it worked out for him because, as we saw the week previously, Ryan Blaney was in the booth for the Xfinity Series in the truck race. And then this past weekend, Joey Logano was in the booth for the truck race. So maybe that little booth experience is helping these Cup Series guys. So who's ever lined up to be in the booth Friday night for the Xfinity Series is probably going to be your winner on Saturday night.
And I bet you Fox is getting boatloads of calls now for people trying to get in the booth after that. The last 2 weeks, the guest analyst goes on and gets the checkered flags.
Oh, you know it, man. All right, guys. So, like I just said, we just had our first NASCAR Cup Series race on dirt in over 50 years, and they decided to do it at Bristol Motor Speedway. From what I saw, practice looked great. The Truck Series race actually looked pretty good, but with the Cup Series race, with how long it was, and just like with the style of track, I feel like it did not put on what we exactly expected. I mean, it was a shit show. Yes, a lot of guys were crashing. That's what we were all pretty much expecting. But when you go to a dirt track, you see guys ripping the high line, just doing some crazy moves. But with Bristol on dirt, it turned into one lane race. You know, like when they started going through and laying rubber down on the track, and they couldn't get up high or else they'd spin out. And we saw that through time and time. Denny Hamlin spun out when he tried to get up on the high line. So it did not work well at all.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. This is something like you said, Ian, you're used to seeing guys really ripping up by the fence in dirt races and stuff like that. And we didn't really get that. And the guys that went up there lost a boatload of time, or we saw Chase Briscoe just couldn't even keep his car on the track, hit what they thought was going to be the cushion up there and go flying all over the racetrack. So, yeah, kind of disappointing to see. I think it's something where, there is an avenue, I think, for them to have a good dirt race in NASCAR. I just don't think this is it. So they have to definitely make some big tweaks and improvements. So going to single file restarts was really not something too I didn't like at all.
Yeah, that was a little blast from the past there.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I mean, and if for Denny Hamlin, it was a wrong place, wrong time situation for him. I mean, it was literally a battle between him and Logano throughout the race. I thought Hamlin could have pulled a move and passed Logano, but of course, there he was, wide turns, getting up on that fence that screwed him out of a race.
Yeah, I mean, just like you were saying, we saw it just completely fail on that restart. Denny was saying, I'm going to get him. I'm going to do something. I'm going to move him out of the way. Then Denny goes high and then just completely loses it within the first turn. And then Joey won the race with already on the start of the restart. So it didn't work well. I really think this race would have been perfect if it was at a real dirt track somewhere like Eldora or Knoxville Speedway, not Bristol. The racing
or Sycamore.
Yeah, well, the grandstands, they got to build like 10,000 more seats for that, Pat. But
we just want racing back in Illinois,
Yeah, but man, I really feel like this race would have been better if it was on a real dirt track, because Bristol already is an amazing race. It puts on such great racing, and they just kind of fixed something that wasn't broke.
Exactly. On the last great Coliseum. How dare you tear up the last great Coliseum like that?
Exactly.
And somebody better make sure Dalton Good is okay, because we know he hates Joey Logano.
He's doing just fine. He's going to Nashville Speedway in a little while. He's happy to see that.
Oh, I know he's pumped.
Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't really the best product. I do applaud NASCAR for trying this, trying different things, but unfortunately they did have to do it on Bristol. But we saw it happen, and for some reason they decided, hey, let's do this again next spring.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand that, because they were just like, oh, okay, this looks like it's fun. Let's just do this next year, without even like consulting the drivers, not talking to anyone.
Well, I was gonna say they made the announcement like during the race. So like, people, what are you doing?
Yeah, that just seems to be how NASCAR is going nowadays. Just kind of just pull a full surprise on you without you even like expecting it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, though, I think this is one of those places where if they clean up a couple little things, I think you could have a good race here. So hopefully they do. Hopefully they learned a couple lessons on, how dry the track gets, and maybe we get a little bit different of a format or something along those lines. But yeah, it wasn't a great first dirt race, but I think there's avenues for them to come back and really put on a good show in the future here, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, so definitely could be better, but it was definitely exciting to see. There wasn't a dull moment in this race, just being in awe with just watching these cup cars on dirt, because I've wanted to see this happen for a few years now, but not at Bristol. I wanted to see it at Eldora,
exactly.
But I don't think that's going to happen anymore with the way that NASCAR screwed Tony Stewart.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Did you all see that?
I think money would have to talk for that one.
Yeah.
Did you all see the that April Fool's post by the Las Vegas Motor Speedway
What was
on
that?
Twitter?
No, I didn't.
So it was on April Fool's Day, and I was completely fooled about it. I thought they were being serious, but it was an April Fool's joke. But they announced that Las Vegas Motor Speedway would run a dirt race next season.
Yeah, I remember it was like a few years ago. Charlotte Motor Speedway came out and said they were running the Coke 600 on dirt, and like
No.
I forgot it was April Fool's Day. And I was like, oh, that's stupid, and then like realized like 5 minutes later it was April Fool's Day. Like, oh shit, okay, because they were pretty good with it because they had like 10 different drivers talking about like how they were excited to run the Coke 600 on dirt, and then yeah. But hey, that was good. April Fool's jokes have been getting real elaborate nowadays.
Did you guys see the one where it said that Chase tested positive for COVID and that Bill was going to substitute in for him?
Yeah.
That was my
What?
favorite one.
Oh,
I did see that one. Yeah.
I probably would have felt for it, not gonna lie.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people would. I
Those-
saw it right away. I was like, no, that's not true. All right, guys. So that will about do it for our Bristol Dirt review. You guys got anything else to add before we end the show here?
No, like I said, I think it was in a whole a little bit on the disappointing side, but I do think it set the foundation for NASCAR to be able to put on a good show in the future. You know, sometimes you got to run one of these to get all the kinks and all that out first, and then go from there. But ultimately, my thought, guys, I'd rather see a race like a dirt race. Make that the All-Star race. You know, the All-Star race is pretty dull every year. It really hasn't had its luster since hasn't really had its, entertainment value since like the late 2000s now, 2008, 2009, 2010, somewhere in that kind of era.
Yeah.
Make a race like this, the dirt race, make that the All-Star race, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you have your heats and everything, and make them short, quick heats, where only so many people are advancing and the races are shorter, so you're not really getting the dryness in the track as much. I think that would put on one hell of a show for an All-Star race if done right.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing that they could do to improve it is move this race in the summer, because we all know Bristol, it just rains and
Thank
rains
you.
in the springtime, especially around late March. So move that, and I think it'll be perfect. And yeah, don't make it a points paying race, because that's just ridiculous.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep. But yeah, that will do it for us guys over here at the Stock Car Spectacle. I'd like to thank our very special guest, Patrick Codo, for joining us this week.
Happy to be on.
Oh, yeah. Make sure to check out Codo's Mojo with me, Adam Cornwell, and of course, Patrick Codo for weekly sports updates. I know a few weeks ago we filled out our bracket, and I think it's all ripped up. And we got a crazy game going on tonight with Baylor.
And Baylor and Gonzaga, and of course, I'm sure you all saw that amazing Gonzaga buzzer beater on Saturday.
Oh, how could you not see that with how many videos there were of people getting like UCLA fans getting pissed off? Like, they look so happy, and then like 2 seconds later, just absolute devastation, man.
We were welcomed back to March Madness in a good way after having no March Madness last season. This season did not disappoint.
Yeah, this was one of the craziest ones I can remember in a long, long time.
Oh, absolutely. All right, guys. So make sure to check out the Codo's Mojo. It's on all podcast platforms. Make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications whenever we upload new content. Make sure to check out our merchandise on Spreadshirt.com. Starting on April 6th through the 11th, we will have 15% off everything on our store. So make sure to check that out. All the designs are created by our good buddy Dalton Good. Make sure to follow me, Nick, and Mike, and of course our buddy Patrick on Twitter, along with the Stock Car Spectacle accounts for weekly updates on the show. Make sure to tune in to our shows this week with our Martinsville preview and, of course, the Gamblers Picks. So, guys, that will do it for us over here. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
I'm Patrick Codo.
There you go. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you later.